Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake, cause I don't fucking care.
Hey, what is up you guys, this is Nacho here and welcome back to another Call of Duty video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience that I had at E3. You guys have been asking me every single time when I stream basically to talk about what I think about World War II, everything that they added, and just give my personal opinion. So here it is, guys. First and foremost, I just want to give a huge shout out to Activision. Without them inviting me to the event, I wouldn't have been able to go and play the game. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't part of the A-list YouTuber group. I only have 10,000 subs, which is understandable. So the A-list YouTubers got invited to day 1 E3 and they all got like a big old recording session, and I got invited to an event day 2 where they basically held like catering for us. They had a bunch of TVs set up, a bunch of PS4s, Astros, everything set up for us. There was like a huge group of like 50 to 100 of us, and I think I was just grouped together with a bunch of media people, but we had like a 2-hour private VIP thing. Activision wined and dined us and it was pretty awesome. So I just want to give a huge shout out to them because this would have not been possible without them reaching out to me. So a huge thank you to Activision. Now let's get right into the video, guys. I get asked this every time I stream: is the game fun? Honestly, I had a lot of fun playing it, but it could have something to do with the event I was a part of. You know, it was kind of like we were having a party, a Call of Duty party, as weird as that sounds. The gameplay was pretty good. When we were playing Team Deathmatch, we played like 3 or 4 matches of that, and I couldn't complain. The first match I ever played, I went like 32-5, and that I felt amazing. And the other couple games, I was kind of having more average scores of like 27-6 and something along those lines. So I can't really complain. Honestly, one thing that I do want to point out is the time to kill in this game. The time to kill in this game feels super fast. Now, if you guys are playing Modern Warfare Remastered and you guys are familiar with like the M16, how you can basically get like laser beamed across the map and just insta die like nothing, I kind of saw that happening in this game. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be a bad game. Honestly, I kind of like it. It could also have something to do that the fact that we were playing basically at a LAN event, so there was like no lag, so maybe all the bullets connect like literally instantaneously, so you don't have that little ping delay between you and the other person who's trying to shoot you. Which brings me into my next point, divisions. I know a lot of people are wondering exactly what this does, and the way it was set up at E3 is that they had basically 10 custom classes for us already pre-assembled by, I guess, the people at Sledgehammer Games who were holding the event for us, and there were 2 classes for each division. Now, each division gives you a basic advantage for each subclass. For submachine guns, you get a suppressor that you can put on and off of your weapon. For light machine guns, you get a bipod that you can put on like a wall or something, and literally you get superb accuracy. Like, I tried this out and it's basically like you have a mounted machine gun. You have like no recoil and it's pretty good. The assault rifle class has a bayonet charge, and the sniper rifles, I believe it was you get increased like auto aim when you're hard scoping, and like the exterior of your scope becomes black, making it super easy to hyper focus on your enemies and get those easy snipes on them. Now, I know a lot of people are freaking out on how these divisions exactly are going to play out in the actual game, and I do want to say it is a little bit weird how each division also has like perks. Now, for example, I talked about how you can put like a suppressor on your submachine guns, right? Well, another of those perk sets that you get for playing as that character, so to say, or division, you have lightweight, you have marathon, and you have the ability to jump over obstacles faster. So you're basically just like a rush happy person, and you can climb and mantle stuff all you please, sprint probably twice as far as other people, and just move like super fast across the map. For the light machine guns, you would have a rocket launcher as a secondary, you got an extra piece of equipment, and you got the ability to throw equipment faster, farther, and while sprinting. So this class, light machine guns, you guys already know, are pretty much meant to be played as like support players in the real war, or the real world, I guess you could say, when they're at war. So they kind of made this LMG class more catered to like a support class role. Now, with the infantry division, you would have 2 extra attachments on your primary weapon and 1 extra attachment on your secondary weapon. So this class would basically just be your straight up assault rifle slayer, someone who's just trying to get as many kills as possible, have the most attachments you could put on your gun, and just try to straight up slay everybody. And last but not least, for the mountain, aka the sniper rifle class, you would have the ability which is marksman, which is acquire enemy names from farther away. You would have increased minimap coverage and hidden to player controlled streaks basically like blind eye, I guess that's what it would give you. Now I'm gonna be honest, the class that I thought was the best overall definitely had to be the assault rifle being the infantry and the submachine gun being the airborne. Reason being, the division training skill set that you get for the class is really good. Like when having the ability to sprint super fast while you already have a submachine gun, while you need to get up close and personal with people, is so advantageous, especially in a game where we don't have a limited sprint. There is no marathon apparently, as long as you're not running this class. So if you're running any other class, you're just running like basically at normal speed and slow as hell. Honestly, I noticed a huge difference from not having this class on and switching to something like an assault rifle or a sniper rifle. When you were using this gun, the airborne, or I mean not the gun, the class, it felt like you were on ice skates personally to me. Now, I'm not exactly sure when the full game comes out how much the divisions are really going to play a role. I hope that they work on it a little bit more and try to fine tune it. I will say this, we did not have any custom classes that we could create by ourselves. Everything at the event was already pre-made for us. Everybody in the match had the same classes, the same weapons, and nobody could pick something and be individual about it. So I don't know if that means that there's not going to be creative class in general in the game. I doubt it. I think we'll have the ability to make our own class setups. I mean, that's basically what Call of Duty was built on, or at least I hope they're smart enough to not take out creative class. I think the way they're going to try to do it when the full game releases is you'll have basically your division, whether you want to be airborne, armored, or you know, an infantry, you would be able to pick that division, and within that division you would be able to pick from a pre-arranged number of guns probably within that category, and then put on your so-called, you know, maybe a red dot or a foregrip or whatever attachments you're gonna have in this game. I honestly didn't really have any problems in general with the divisions. Everything was fine. Everybody seemed like they were having a great time playing the game, and there's really no complaints there. In general, this game really feels like World at War remastered. It just feels like an updated version of Call of Duty 5, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's honestly kind of a good thing. A lot of people were fans of that game. I know there was MP40 juggernauts running wild during that while that game was out, and there was an MP40 in World War II, but I didn't really see anything too crazy. The SMGs don't really seem to have too much recoil. Most of the guns don't really seem to have that much recoil. Sniping feels pretty consistent in this game. When I was using the sniper rifle, I only try to snipe for one game because you guys know me, I'm not really a sniper player. I still was able to hold a 2 KD, basically just watching choke points. Having the ability when you're outside of your scope gets blacked out really helps you pick out your enemies and makes for easy snipes, and the maps are really great designed overall. I played a total of 2 different maps, or it kind of felt like 3. I felt like one map wasn't the same map, but they had like kind of rearranged it for a different game mode. Like it was kind of the same, like we played it in TDM, but in War it seemed like they had kind of like rearranged the map a little bit, or you were playing like on a different side of the map, if you know what I mean. But in general, this game is super fun, and if you're thinking about picking this game up, there's a lot of other contenders coming out with it later on this year, like Destiny 2, and I'll definitely also be picking up World War II. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would definitely buy this game because I'm a huge Call of Duty player. I think this game has the potential to be a really great Call of Duty game as long as they cater more to the audience and don't really ignore the player base. You know, one thing that I think Infinite Warfare has gotten right is that they actually listen to the community a lot of the times. We don't get everything we ask for, but a lot of the times if we ask for something enough, they usually answer. An example of that is I remember one time they gave double XP one weekend when it was only for parties, and everybody freaked out on them on Twitter, and the next morning they just turned it on for everybody, made the community happy. And you know, simple stuff like that is what keeps the community happy. You don't got to do all this crazy flashy stuff within the game. As long as the game mechanics are good, there's no gun that's super broken, everybody's enjoying it. I feel like this Call of Duty honestly has the potential to be one of the better Call of Duties we played in the past couple years, and I'm pretty serious when I say that. I really think this has the potential to be one of the better Call of Duties, if not best Call of Duties we've seen within like the past 5 years. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. I think this has the potential to bring a lot of the player base back into the community as long as they understand what we want and they don't try to make it too different. I will say all these divisions and all these different abilities that you get for your characters do kind of make me feel like I'm playing Battlefield 1 in a Call of Duty reskin. A lot of people have asked me whether I think they stole the ideas or whether they copied the ideas. I'm gonna be honest, I think they pretty much copied a lot of the ideas from Battlefield 1. I mean, where else would they have gone that bayonet charge idea for the assault rifles and World War II and all that? I mean, you just look at what Battlefield 1 did. You know, I'm not knocking Call of Duty for doing it. You look at what Battlefield 1 did, and they still have a really strong strong community base, I would say. And a lot of people switched to that game because they got tired of all the flying robots and all the space galaxy Star Wars fights in Call of Duty. And now that they're bringing it back to an old school game, I think a lot of people are going to give this game another chance. But if this game is not good when it releases, meaning that they tweak some more stuff and it doesn't really make the game as balanced and all that, I think it could be a huge disaster. And the people who basically gave up on Call of Duty the past 3-4 years, who came back and gave it one last try with this game, will officially be done with the series. And you know, people say every single year Call of Duty is dying. I'm gonna be honest, guys, Call of Duty is still like the most selling game every single year. So for people to say Call of Duty is dying, that doesn't really make sense. They're still outselling most games, if not all, year in, year out. You know, talk all the shit you want about Infinite Warfare being a horrible game. I personally love it. I personally had a lot of fun with it, and it's still outsold basically all the other video games that came out that same year. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. I'll be making some more, way more in-depth videos about all the different game modes and the specific infantries that we had to use while we were at the World War II event. Once again, a huge thank you to Activision for inviting me out to the event. It was super awesome, and I'm so glad I got to play Call of Duty for 2 hours. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, my name is Papa Nacho, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Nacho Nation.